leader, and that's for a reason.
Morgan, the table setter, seeing plenty of pitches. Count now runs full. And the payoff. We will see another. Savia Morgan at the top, followed by Kinsey Fiedler, Taylor Panel for Tennessee. McKenna Gibson, Sophia Nugent, Laura Mueller make up the middle, 4, 5, and 6. Ella Dodge, Emma Clark, and Gabby Leach, the bottom third of the batting nine, as Morgan works her way aboard.
Morgan does exactly what a leadoff batter is supposed to do, and that's see as many pitches as possible to pass information on to the rest of your lineup. She saw quite a few pitches in that at-bat, fouling a ton off, and every single pitch allows the lineup and the people behind you to understand what the pitcher's throwing and what's working for both of you.
And Morgan takes off immediately and swipes second base. Team high 21st stolen base of the season, a runner in scoring position for Tennessee.
And that's why it's so difficult when you put a slapper on, especially with someone like Savia Morgan. You can instantly almost say it's going to be a double if you put them on first. She gets a great jump on that ball, and then she dives head first, gets her fingers in there, safe pretty easily.
56 stolen bases now this year for Tennessee. 6 players have stolen 5 or more, but nobody nearly as many as Savia Morgan. The speedster in scoring position for Kinsey Fiedler. 2 balls and a strike on the Washington transfer. The senior out of Summit, Missouri. Fiedler hitting .386. And just gets a piece.
That is a perfect hack when you're sitting 3-1, something up in the zone, something that you can drive. Fouled straight back, that's how you know she's on time. So I feel like if you're the pitcher right there, you feel exactly that swing. That's what you want to do if you're Fiedler.
Skips away, and we'll give Morgan a free 60. So Tennessee close to putting the first run on the board here in the first. And now the count full on Fiedler. 3-2 on the appeal to third. She did not go around and draws the walk. Back-to-back free passes drawn by Tennessee. Lady Vols on the corners.
You could see a little bit of frustration there with Jewett. She wanted the last strike against Savia, or the last ball, I should say, to be called a strike against Savia. She thought maybe Fiedler had went on that last ball. But right now she's developing that relationship with the umpire, learning what she can get for strikes and what will be called balls. So she just has to keep going right at these batters, and eventually she'll roll a couple ground balls. But it's really hard those first couple innings when you think something's working for you and it's getting called a ball. So she just has to grind this out, roll her team a ground ball, and get an out right here.
Fiedler takes off for second. Now 7 for 7 stealing bases. 0-1. Now 0-2 on Taylor Panel. The powerful bat in the 3-spot. Panel, the sensational sophomore. 437 as an everyday starter and leads the team with 12 home runs. Lays off 1-2.
She leads the team with 12 home runs because she knows exactly what she's looking for when she comes up to the plate. She did go down 0-2 early in this count, or this at-bat, but she's swinging because she knows what she's looking for.
And works the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Redshirt sophomore out of Milan, Illinois. Quad Cities suburb. First team All-SEC last year. And on the 2-2, Panel gets plunked. To load the bases with nobody out.
I can understand what Jewett was trying to do right there, using her effective velocity going in and at the hands because it's going to feel faster for the batter's eyes. She just inched it a little too far in on Panel, and got her on the hand there. That's a tough position to get hit on, or a tough place on your body to get hit on, especially when you're right-handed and she's going to go have to throw the next inning. So you hope Panel's okay there at first.
Taylor Panel, a little bit of discomfort. Tennessee training staff out to look things over, examining that right hand. The sun is out, but it is cool for April 1st. 60 degrees, a cool breeze, and the shadows climbing out in the air. Looks like Panel's going to stay in the game, but that is one that'll leave a mark.
And if you're Western Carolina right now, you feel like you can't catch a break. You put some speedsters on, big batter, Taylor Panel next, and now you have to face McKenna Gibson with the bases loaded, and it's hard to get the ball past her, so you can hope for her to get herself out.
And Gibson hit on the first pitch. She sees, scary moment there, getting hit in the helmet. That'll bring home a run as Morgan scores to make it 1-0. Certainly hope that McKenna Gibson is okay as she walks down to first.
It's also scary because earlier in this season, McKenna Gibson got hit very similarly and was out for a couple weeks. So getting hit in that same spot, she's now wearing the full face guard. Earlier in the season, she wasn't, but it's a scary moment if you're Tennessee, seeing one of your best batters getting hit in the head once again in the same season.
Gibson looks like she's going to stay in the game at first. Good sight to see for Tennessee. You're right, she missed the first 2 weeks. 2 weeks early in the year for Tennessee. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. As Sophia Nugent slaps it to first. The throw to the plate is in time. Henry gets Fiedler, and there's one out.
That was one of Jewett's best pitches early in the count, and you could tell with Sophia Nugent, she's hungry, hunting early. She gets it off the end of her bat, makes for a pretty easy play for the first baseman, Natalie Henry, right there, and then gets the easy force out at home. That's exactly what you're looking for if you're Jewett, just that sigh of relief that you finally have an out to work with now early in this ball game.
Bases remain loaded here. Nugent at first, Gibson at second, with Panel at third. Laura Mealer digs into the box, and the Tennessee shortstop runs the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mealer, the senior, hitting .333. Second season now in Knoxville, transferred in from MTSU, where she was a prolific menace at the plate for the Blue Raiders. And now coming into her own here, Riley, in year number 2, taking on a little bit of a leadership role and really comfortable in her spot in the lineup.
She has stepped into that leadership role, and she's been leading by example with some great at-bats and clutch moments. You saw that this past weekend at Oklahoma, and she's been doing that all year, so she is solidified, and she said, I'm here in this lineup, and I'm here to stay.
And someone, Karen Weekly, said when she first became part of this team last year was trying a little too hard, putting too much pressure on herself. Now just playing free. And on the 2-1, Mealer fouls it away, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
As a transfer coming into a big school like Tennessee off of a SEC championship winning season, it is hard to not put pressure on yourself and to come in and just be yourself. But you can see, even in this at-bat, every single pitch she takes, she's getting more and more confident. She knows exactly what she wants in this at-bat, and if she doesn't like it but thinks it's going to be a strike, she's going to go ahead and foul it off.
Nowhere to put her, bags full, 1 down, the payoff. Fouled away. Tessa Jewett continues to labor in the circle. Pitch number 28 of the home first coming up. Popped up down the line, hooking foul, and caught by Butler. Panel tags from third and scores, and it's 2-0 Tennessee.
It might not have been in fair territory, but that's exactly what you're looking for. Being able to drive a ball deep and give your runners on base a chance to score. Laura Mueller lets this outside pitch travel longer in the zone and just drives it to right field. Butler in the outfield, it's early in the game. I'm going to go ahead and make that out. Maybe later in the game you let it go, you save a run, but early in the game when your pitcher is struggling to get outs, she made the right call by going in foul territory, getting the out, and then getting the ball in so only one run is scored.
Now Riley Butler out there patrolling right field. RBI for Mueller. Runners on the corners. Gibson did tag from second. As Ella Dodge takes a strike. 1-1. Dodge, the freshman, 246 hitter. She's got 5 home runs, including a big one late on Sunday that put Tennessee in front to take care of the series down in Norman, Oklahoma. And Riley, you got to think that is going to do loads for her confidence the rest of the way.
I can't think of anything else that can spark her confidence than going into someone else's territory, hitting an enormous blast in an inning where it mattered probably the most in her entire career. So if there's one person that has high confidence right now in this Lady Vol lineup, it would be Ella Dodge.
And in the driver's seat, 3-1, Dodge bounces it foul off the plate. We'll try it again, 3-2. For Tennessee, we've played one in Knoxville. Lady Vols lead by a pair.
Go at your at-bats. That's how you beat elite pitching. So they just need to keep their foot on that pedal, go for those pitches early in the count, and that's when most success happens against elite pitching.
McPherson, the sophomore, part of this stellar sophomore class. Soul roller down the line, and foul. Out of Lancaster, California. Started over 50 games last year for the Catamounts. Now, we may have a conversation here at the plate. Head coach Jim Clift talking things over with the crew chief Phil Friels behind the plate.
That was kind of an odd situation. You thought Taylor Panel was going to continue to let that ball roll. I think she might have picked it up a little too quick there down the third base line.
Strike 3, swinging on the next pitch. Newer climbs the ladder, K number 2.
Foul or fair, it doesn't matter because Erin Newer went right back at this batter the same exact way she got her first strikeout of the game, working that curveball and then using that curveball to set up a rise ball that's just slightly up and gets right underneath that barrel of the batter.
Sydney Dirks behind it, 0-1. Dirks, a sophomore out of Mocksville, North Carolina. Hitting .327 this season, everyday player for Western Carolina. It's a Western Carolina team that does not have a lot of seniors on the roster. 10 total underclassmen between freshman and sophomore, but 3 of the 5 sophomores, everyday starters since they set foot on campus. So they bring a lot of experience into this program. And Sydney Dirks is part of that group. 49 starts up the middle at shortstop last season. Power numbers have really ticked up here in year number 2. 7 home runs to lead this batting 9. Cuts and misses there. Newer is cruising. Back-to-back strikeouts.
She went up in the zone for her first 2 strikeouts, and now she's working down in the zone. Using just her effective velocity, she got her to foul off a pitch up, so now she's working a drop ball down, so it looks like a completely different speed, although she's coming off the mound the same rate every single time.
And Becca Wansick tags the first pitch to right where Gabby Leach is waiting. Another efficient inning in the circle. And takes a strike on the corner. Clark playing for the first time since the Arkansas series a couple weekends ago. The true freshman out of Cleveland, North Carolina.
Emma Clark, a true freshman, but has a lot of power that almost feels like she's a veteran. Earlier in this season, Coach Karen Weekly told her to hit a ball in the gap, called time, told her to hit the ball in the gap, and she ended up hitting the ball over the fence. So she has the power to be able to tell herself where she wants to hit it and then hit it much further than that.
And a big smile on Karen Weekly's face as Clark rounds the bases and gave her a high five there at third following that order. Ahead 2-1. And now 3 balls and a strike. For Jewett in the circle has been falling behind in the count often. Riley, how does she battle back and attack this powerful lineup?
She just has to understand that last inning, she didn't get beat. She beat herself. She put the first 3 people on and gave too many free passes, but no one really hit her hard. She got Sophia Nugent to ground out off the end of her bat. She got Laura Mueller to pop out to right field. So she didn't really get beat or get hit hard. No long balls were given up. She just put people on. So if she can just attack the batters right off the bat as soon as they step into the box, she's going to give her defense a chance to not put people on and let people score off freebies.
Issues the walk there to Clark. That's her 3rd walk to go along with a couple of free passes, and brings up Gabby Leach in the 9 spot. The sophomore lefty dropped it down foul. Leach a .323 hitter, 25th start, and now game 37 for Tennessee.
Coming into this season, Coach Weekly talked about never having a set lineup, moving people in and out the outfield, maybe the DP position, but Gabby Leach is one of those people who have started to solidify themselves in the lineup.
Down on strikes there, 2nd strikeout for Jewett.
That's a great pitch, and it works even better when you're facing a lefty batter. That lefty-on-lefty curve is really hard to defend as a left-handed batter. She just moves it and sneaks it in tight around the waist and makes it really hard for Gabby Leach to turn on it and get her barrel to the ball.
Back to the top of the order, quickly 0-1 on Savia Morgan. And now a conference between the umpires. See if Morgan maybe ran into that one. Perhaps, and maybe ran into it out. Phil Friels is the crew chief behind home plate. Tanya Cass, the first base umpire. And Tammy Cooper, the third base umpire. And they will take a look at it. Western Carolina and Jim Cliff.
Western Carolina is challenging the call on the field. The call on the field that the ball did not hit the batter. That play is under video review.
Are going to challenge it right there. Heard it from Phil Friels himself. It was close to the naked eye. Savia Morgan certainly trying to tiptoe out of the way.
It was too close for me to tell from our angle, but let's take a look at it right here. Jewett's spin has having these left-handed batters foul off the ball. It's hard to tell right there when it gets closer to her face mask, but they might have a better view with the Hawkeye camera system that they have now. Just the spin coming off that ball makes it really hard to tell.
Call on the field was a foul ball. There must be indisputable video evidence to overturn that call.
Now, it was close, but I don't think there's enough evidence to overturn it. You don't see the ball moving any part of her jersey or her face mask coming up. Right about there, I think, is where you question it. But I don't think there's anything that moves or changes to make you think that it touched her.
No, I'm with you, partner. Doesn't look like the spin changed on the seams. Just close play and good eyes by Phil Friels behind the plate.
But how athletic is Savia Morgan to be able to turn around the bunt, watch the bunt go down, and then dodge the ball all at the same time.
Well, Savia Morgan is an outstanding tumbler in
She was.
high school. She said if she wasn't on the softball team, she'd probably be a gymnast. And using some of that athleticism and tightrope walking right there, looking like she was walking the beam.
It would have been even better if she snuck around that ball and did a flip to get to first base, but I'll take that right there, just the athleticism to get around the ball.
It is a different look offensively for Tennessee this season. Last year, not really any lefties in the lineup, 4 of them in the starting order today. Morgan, a traditional speedy slapper at the top. Another look there at whether it touched her or not. Again, the call on the field was a foul ball, which would be 0-1 on the runner on first.
I have to imagine they might have a different view if they've taken this long to be able to determine if it's hit or not, because from our view, it looks like it's a clean play and it should stand.
After video review, the call on the field will be standing that it is. It'll be a foul ball. That is Western Carolina's first challenge.
So the Catamounts lose the challenge and keep 1 the rest of the way. Call stands. 0-1 here on Morgan. Clark still at first, 1 out here in the home second. Jewett's 0-1 is fouled back, 0-2.
I mentioned it earlier with the bunt, but Jewett's creating a lot of foul balls. Not too many balls have been put in play with all the batters that she's faced, lefties and righties, and that's just because she has that curveball spin that's working so well. It's hard for the batters to keep their barrel on the ball.
Morgan held up, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tessa Jewett high atop the all-time ranks in Catamounts pitching. And slap right to third. McPherson gloves it. Throw to first is offline. And Clark will stay put. Heads up play by Maya McPherson on the hot corner. 2 down in the inning.
Now, if you're the Lady Vols, you see Savia Morgan cheering right there. That is exactly what their offense wants to do, is hit the ball hard on the line. It was a great snag there by McPherson at third. Just all around, great swing, great play. She just slowed down her feet a little bit after she caught that ball. I think she would have got Emma Clark there at first base.
Very next pitch, Fiedler, 2 bounces up the middle, no play, and the throw gets away. Bell's throw sails into the dugout. And it'll put runners perhaps on second and third for Tennessee. Clark tried to stretch it in and score, and they will award the run. So it's 3-0 Tennessee.
A little bit of confusion after that play and during that play. Second baseman Lily Bell, the ball took her up the middle, but it's 2 down, and Emma Clark was on the run, so it made for a hard play there at second. You can see she has to go towards the base. She doesn't get the play, and then instead of holding on to the ball because she doesn't also have the play at first, she makes the errant throw that goes in the dugout and awards the run. The best thing for her to do right there, as soon as she realizes she doesn't have that play at second or first, just hold the ball so you don't give up any extra bases.
Another first pitch contact. 1 bounce back to Jewett. Taylor Panel is retired, and the inning comes to an end. But Tennessee tacks on 1 more, an unearned run across for the Lady Vols, who lead it Carolina order. It's Tessa Jewett who fouls away the first offering.
I said it last inning, but it's the same thing. This Catamount lineup is attacking every first pitch of Aaron Newer. The only problem is they're fouling it off. If they put it in play, that's probably the best pitch they'll see of their at-bats, but they're learning from each batter to know that's how we're going to have to beat Aaron Newer in this game, is going after the best pitch that we see early.
And Newer called on a violation there. So the count 1-1 on Jewett as the 1-1 whistles in. Called strike 1 and 2. Aaron Newer cruise control through the first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down with 3 swinging strikeouts. The true freshman out of East Aurora, New York, gets strikeout number 4. Backwards K in the book.
She just has such lively stuff to make a batter freeze. You can even see with our view that it has some wiggle on it. It starts low and just kind of sneaks right up. It might be a low rise ball or just working a curve and a screw during that at bat, but to be able to freeze a batter after she's seen it well and continuously fouled off the ball, she's changing her stuff throughout the at bat and adjusting with the batter.
So the base is empty now, 1 out for Maddie Mentel, the senior. On the 1-0, Mentel takes ball 2, senior out of Athens, Georgia, a Coney High product. Primary catcher this season for the Catamounts. Platooning back there behind the plate now for a second straight year. 2 balls and a strike. Mentel hitting .279. Couple of doubles, 2 homers, 13 RBIs this season as Western Carolina looks for its first base runner of the ball game.
Throughout these first couple innings, it almost feels like Aaron Newer is changing from working the top of the zone to now working the bottom. That was one of her first pitches that was in the dirt compared to her first couple strikeouts that were balls moving up in the zone. So she's just changing her stuff between every batter and every pitch. There she goes. I called it and then she's going to throw the ball up. So there goes her rise ball. But she's working both zones now compared to earlier in the game when she was focusing on that curve and then using that curve to set up her rise.
She's worked the count full, and on the 3-2, gets strike 3 swinging. Aaron Newer has struck out 4 the last 5.
And she went right back to that rise ball I was talking about, but this time she works it more at the letters so it entices the batter even more. One of the hardest pitches to hit in softball is the one that comes in right at your letters and then sneaks up just when you're swinging. It looks so enticing and feels like you can hit that ball a mile, and then when it comes into the zone, it's already by you.
So 2 quick outs for Natalie Henry in the 9 spot. One of 4 seniors in the order. Henry, a .292 hitter. Trying to give this Catamounts offense a little life. 2 balls and no strikes to the Western Carolina first baseman, with the top of the order and the ever-dangerous Lily Bell waiting on deck. Just looks like Aaron Newer is oozing confidence in the circle.
When you're going 1-2-3, 1-2-3 with a few strikeouts mixed in, it should give you confidence that your stuff is working today, and you also have your defense behind you that's making those plays when you allow them to. I also think Emma Clark behind the plate, she hasn't caught much this year. You see Sophia Nugent mainly behind that plate. She's doing a great job of pouring that confidence right back into Aaron Newer, and she's doing a pretty good job of framing that low pitch to create a strike.
And it's another strikeout for Newer. K number 6. She fans the side in order and is perfect through for the 6th-ranked Lady Vols. Trying to pad the 3-0 cushion here in the 3rd. McKenna Gibson in the heart of the order faced Tessa Jewett, the southpaw back, spinning it for Western Carolina. Ball and no strikes on Gibson, the senior out of Santa Clarita, California, who was hit in the helmet on the first pitch she faced. Brought in the first run of the game. But good to see Gibson back in the box, a 1-1 count.
If you're Tessa Jewett, you have to have some confidence looking out there on the scoreboard and seeing 3 runs but only 1 hit. She's not getting hit hard, I said that last inning, so if she just goes right at these batters and gives her defense something to work with, she'll be right in this ball game. But it's the free passes that she was giving to the Lady Vols, and then a few outs here and there, but those free passes really hurt you when you look at the scoreboard. But when you only see 1 hit, that should give you confidence to go right at these batters.
And the 1 hit was an infield single. Kinsey Fiedler up the middle. Infield single followed by an E4, which brought home the 3rd run of the game. Only 1 ball out of the infield, and it was a fly out foul territory down the right field line. Payoff pitch. Strike 3. Gibson's cut comes up empty. 3rd strikeout for Jewett.
I think right here is where she's picking up a little bit of that confidence, and you can see it the way she attacked McKenna Gibson, using that curveball, but using it on the outside corner. So as a batter, when you're in the box, it looks like it's going to stay out, but because she has that lefty spin on it, it's able to come in and clip that outside of the plate, which makes it so hard to adjust to as a hitter.
As Sophia Nugent digs in. 3 strikeouts now today for Tessa Jewett. Team high 88 now on the season. Couple of milestones over the weekend against Sanford. She became the 3rd in school history to eclipse 400 strikeouts, now 409 and counting, which is 2nd in school history. So Tessa Jewett certainly someone the Catamounts have relied upon in the circle her first 3 seasons in Cullowhee. And you said it, Riley, starting to settle in a little bit more as this game goes deeper.
You can see it even with the way she's attacking the batter off the mound with her body. It looks like a lot more force, and then you can see it with just her spin and her misses. Her misses are a lot smaller right now, and they're all kind of over the plate. She's making the batters have to really watch, and you can even see Sophia Nugent getting on her toes to make sure that's a ball outside and not going to come in and clip that corner.
Nugent over 1, reached on a fielder's choice. Jammed foul, 3-2. Sophia Nugent, the senior out of Seal Beach, California, now her 2nd season in Knoxville after transferring in from Oklahoma. And what a moment over the weekend. Game 1 of her return series to Norman. A 2-run blast in the 8th to put Tennessee in front and seal the Game 1 victory. On another 3-2, Nugent flies it foul.
And this is the type of battle that if you're Jim Cliff, Catamounts head coach, you want to see from Tessa Jewett. She's going right at these batters this inning, and it's going back and forth, foul ball, inching at every single pitch. This is exactly what you want to see.
The battle continues. On the 9th pitch, Nugent makes sure we'll see a 10th.
Because she's coming from that left side and she's working a curveball out and then in on the hands, it's all feeling like a different speed for Nugent, and that's why she's fouling them off. Every spot you work in these 4 quadrants of the at-bat is different speeds for a batter.
Shallow center field and out of the glove of Harrell. Nugent aboard with a 1-out base knock.
That was another good pitch by Jewett. She got Sophia Nugent to get jammed on her hands, and that's why you see the hesitation out there by Harrell, because it wasn't hit very hard. So right there you see it hits off the inside part of her bat. Harrell gets a late jump on it, forces her to dive, just doesn't get there quick enough, and it rolls out of her glove. A great effort by Harrell and an even better pitch by Jewett, so she's able to get there on the hands.
As Courtney Marks, who actually just came into the game in center field at the start of the inning. Somehow the ball always finds you right when you come into the ball game. So Marks, the freshman, coming on in center field, and there's a one-out base runner for Tennessee. And Zoe Schuler's on to pinch run. Mueller in the box. Schuler takes off and slides in safely with a stolen base.
Based off that swing and how Schuler was going right on that pitch, it looks to be a hit and run. And a hit and run may not always be executed with the ball being put in play, but just being able to swing over the ball like Mueller did makes the catcher have to hesitate a little bit, and also holds the shortstop at her position, hold her ground. So it just throws off the entire defense. A well-executed hit and run, especially from Zoe Schuler on the base path. Great jump, and gets in there safely.
And Mueller with a shot up the middle. Bell, a diving stop, makes the play. Lily Bell with a web gem up the center, 2 down.
That was a great play by Lily Bell. Also, good pitch by Jewett, getting it off the end of Mueller's bat. Bell having a layout, and then Henry over there at first, just wrapping it all together, getting that dig at first base. You can see the Catamounts kind of getting some momentum right here, making some plays, getting some outs, slowly just doing what they need to do to crawl back into this game.
So Jewett trying to avoid any further damage as she faces Ella Dodge, who skies it high to left center field. Marks moving over and makes the catch. Tessa Jewett strands the runner at third. A clean inning in the books. We move to the fourth for Tennessee and faces Lily Bell, who bounces it to second. Dodge takes care of it, and Lily Bell, the reigning SoCon Freshman of the Year and the conference's leading hitter, has seen 2 pitches today and been retired twice.
And if you're Aaron Newer and you're getting Lily Bell out in just 2 pitches, that is a win on top of the out of getting her out. She absolutely drives this offense. So when you're able to shut that batter down that drives the offense, that can carry through an entire lineup. The rest of the team doesn't see their number one getting on. And so it makes it a bit of a challenge when you don't see that person that's always on base, on the base pass for you when you come up to bat after her.
So it brings up Courtney Marks, hitting for the first time. Marks came on as a defensive replacement last half inning. And the freshman, who has made 30 starts this season, a .304 hitter. Down on 3 pitches. Strikeout number 7 for Aaron Newer in the circle.
Aaron Newer is just so hard to beat when she's working ahead of the count. She's able to toy with the batter and use what pitches she wants. She goes down against that batter, but could have also gone up, as you've seen with other batters. Just starting ahead allows her so much freedom to work with what she wants to work with and get batters out on any pitch that she has in her repertoire.
And working quickly, already ahead. 0-1 on Riley Butler, who's 0 for 1 today. Grounded out back in the first. Hot shot foul quickly, 0-2. On Butler, the junior, Samford transfer. And who has reached safely in 17 consecutive contests. 0-2 on the way. Newer already 7 strikeouts tonight, looking for number 8.
When you're ahead of the count, as a coach, as a player playing behind Newer, you don't mind those misses. You'd rather throw the ball in the dirt than give up a 0-2, 1-2 hit, because that gives the other team a little bit of momentum and confidence. So Newer just moving the ball all around the zone, she's able to continue to mess with that batter's eyes and her timing altogether. Throwing it down then up is just using different effective velocities to get batters out.
The 1-2 is popped up high behind the plate and caught by Clark. Another 1, 2, 3 inning for Aaron Newer in the circle. 12 up and 12 down. On 2 bounces to short, picked up by Dirks, and there's 1 out in the inning.
That's a good play right there by Dirks. Just reading the ball right off the bat. It was hit pretty hard, but to know that she can still go on the run and just glove it and then make the throw on the run, she had a slight bobble, kept her composure, and still made the out at 1. That's a smart play by her to go get the ball, just to start the inning and get that first out.
No balls and a strike now on Gabby Leach in the 9th spot. 2 hits so far for Tennessee today. One was an infield single, and the other weak contact into shallow center field. Nothing loud that has gotten through against Jewett. As the count evens at 1-1 on Leach.
And like we've been saying all game, that should give Jewett some confidence that you're facing this stellar lineup. Just took down number 2 Oklahoma this weekend, and you're only have given up 2 hits in the entire game. No long balls, nothing even hit really hard, just that ball that took the second baseman up the middle, the weak contact in center field, so she should have some confidence. I think this timeout right here was called by Jewett. It seems to be as if she's trying to work an off-speed or a changeup and she's missing in the dirt. Maybe just need a breather, maybe talk to coach and her catcher, Taylor Waitley, just to talk about maybe what is working and sticking with that. But she should have confidence going into this inning and looking up at that scoreboard and knowing she hasn't given up hard contact.
This is low, 2 balls and a strike on Leach. Sophomore out of the Woodlands, Texas. And Jewett's 2-1 is lined to left, slicing foul.
Jewett has the strikeout numbers, and she has a couple strikeouts in this game, but she's also a pitch-to-contact pitcher. With that spin of that curveball, she's getting a ton of foul balls. Even in that first inning, getting that foul ball out against Laura Mueller, she's effective in so many ways. She can strike them out, and she can also make them put the ball in play.
Jam shot, foul territory. Stuman has it. 2 down.
And once again, making them put the ball in play because she's working different zones and working everything off that curveball. It's hard for the batter to recognize where the pitch is going to go. This one stays on the inside corner against Leach, just getting in on her hands, causing her to foul out. And Leach is also on the line, so if you're on the line, sometimes it shows the pitcher that you can turn on that ball.
And the first pitch to Savia Morgan gets through the left side of the infield, right under the glove of Dirks at short. 2 out base runner for Tennessee in the 4th.
That's what a slapper like Savia Morgan can do, is put pressure on the defense. Dirks knows at short that she has some speed, and so when Savia Morgan puts that ball in play, not on this replay that you see, that was Gabby Leach, but when Savia Morgan puts the ball in play, it makes someone rush, and it had Dirks lift her glove up just a little too early.
So the E6 puts a runner aboard here for Tennessee with 2 out in the 4th. Morgan already a stolen base. You mentioned the speed. Leads his team with 21 swipe bags now this year. 1 on, 2 out. Kinsey Fiedler takes a strike. Fiedler 1 for 1 today, an infield single and drove in a run, also has walked. There goes Morgan. The throw is not in time. Second stolen base of the night for Savia Morgan.
And that one was a lot closer than the first one. I think that was a great throw by Taylor Waitley there. The throw beat Savia Morgan. The tag did not, though. As you can see, she gets the ball perfectly from catching position and then just puts the ball right on a line. With Savia Morgan's speed, she's able to wiggle right underneath the tag.
Next pitch, sky to left center. Marks on the move and makes the catch. So Morgan stranded in scoring possession. Jewett leaves another aboard, and she's through 4, just 3 runs across. As we head to the 5th, a 3-run Tennessee lead. And a 3-0 lead. Heart of the order, Maya McPherson digs in and takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Great to have you along. Maya Patel alongside Riley West, our wonderful crew, with you tonight. This non-conference midweek matchup. 9th all-time showdown between these two programs. Weak contact to second. Dodge charges, bobbles, and can't hang on. First base runner of the night for the Catamounts.
And that's what happens when you put a little pressure on the defense, especially when a pitcher is doing well with 7 strikeouts. You kind of can be on your heels as a defense, but this one right here, Ella Dodge does a great job of approaching the slow rolling ball, then doesn't get her grip on it, probably because the batter is running down the line and it's a quick pace. If she just slows down, stays smooth, that's an out for her, but they haven't got too many balls in play, so you can imagine as a defense their heels are they're playing on their heels a little bit here, and probably woke them up right now with no outs and a runner on first.
First base runner tonight as Dirks drops it down foul, 0-2. Goes down as an E4. And the first bit of traffic Aaron Newer has faced in the circle. Sydney Dirks, 0 for 1, one of the 7 strikeouts. And watches ball 1 there, 1-2. Strike 3, swinging 8th of the night for Newer.
And this is what elite pitchers do. As soon as an error or someone gets on base, they go right at the next batter. She went right at her, started early in the count, and then worked that rise ball up, especially on the outside corner where she started her with that curveball earlier in the at-bat.
Ahead of Becca Wansick, no balls and a strike. Wansick, part of this experienced sophomore class for Western Carolina. 18 hits in the month of March. That brought her batting average up over 100 points. Flied out her first time up tonight. And the count level with a ball and a strike.
That's a great job right there of Emma Clark, just keeping the ball in front and also slowing down the momentum. If that runner gets to second, the game speeds up even more, so she's helping her freshman Aaron Newer out right there.
High fly, foul ground, a souvenir. Now you don't get to keep that. I don't know what they get for the softball, maybe chicken sandwich or something.
A chicken sandwich sounds nice. I'm pretty sure you get a certificate maybe to get a softer ball.
Oh, okay.
Not completely sure, but I would hope if I'm a fan, I'm getting a chicken sandwich out of that.
To go along with the softer softball, right?
Exactly.
You deserve it.
At least they're getting to take a picture with the ball before they have to hand it back. There goes the certificate.
Don't forget to read the fine print. Another strikeout for Newer in the circle. Number 9.
And throughout this at-bat, Aaron Newer just kept inching the ball more and more off the plate. This is a great pitch when she's ahead in the count. It's on the line, but because it has so much spin, it entices the batter, making her think that it's going to be closer to the plate than what it really is.
And on the first pitch, Tessa Jewett bounces out to Dodge. So the error does not haunt the Lady Vols defense. Aaron Newer has not allowed a hit last season, all-region player. And has gotten more comfortable as the game has gone on. 2 runs across in the first, 1 more added in the second. All goose eggs from both sides since. Taylor Panel now seeing Jewett for the 3rd time offensively. 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitcher. First trip scored a run, is also bounced out. Now this 3rd time through the order. Riley, what's the adjustment for the potent Tennessee offense? It's a team that hits .326.
The adjustment is hitting the ball hard on the line. They've gotten a lot of pop-outs, and pop-outs in foul territory.
Right on cue. Butler into foul ground. One down. You got the winning Powerball numbers for tonight too, Riley?
I've been calling a lot in this game. But Jewett's been doing such a good job. It's easy to call when she's continuing to get the batters out the same exact way. She's working that curve in and out, then bringing it more up in the zone and getting the batters to chase. She's throwing out the same tunnel every single time, making it hard for the batters to tell, is that going to be a curveball on the outside, the inside, or is it going to continue to rise up?
So Jewett retires panel. One down for McKenna Gibson, who's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. 0 for 1 hit by pitch, which drove in a run, is also struck out. The All-SEC senior. Oh, the 2-0, Gibson fouls it away, 2-1.
If I'm Tennessee's lineup right now, and I know that we're popping out a lot, I'm thinking hard in line. I might even think of hitting the top half of the ball, driving it and making their defense work. You saw last inning an error by the shortstop, Sydney Dirks, by putting the ball in play. There we go, right up the middle.
And McKenna Gibson picks up the 3rd hit for Tennessee tonight, a 1-out single.
And she does exactly what we were just talking about, hitting the top half of the ball with a spinny pitcher that has a really great curveball. She lets that ball travel, but then drives it exactly where it came back from. Hitting the ball hard on the line doesn't fail, and that's one of Coach Craig Snyder's philosophies as a coach. They work so much on approach and a plan, and then once they know their approach and plan, it's hitting the ball hard and on a line. McKenna Gibson, a veteran, she leads the team so well there at first base on the field, but also in the lineup, she leads by example by making those adjustments and showing the team how to get things done.
Junior Amanda Allen in to pinch run, so Gibson the single up the middle. As Jim Clifton is out of the Western Carolina dugout to talk things over with Phil Friels behind the plate.
Pick up for the Big Orange DP, number 7, Sophia Nugent.
1 on, 1 out. As Sophia Nugent takes ball 1. Responsible for one of the 3 Tennessee hits here tonight. One ball and 1 strike. Jewett has stranded runners in scoring position each of the last 2 innings. Gets a ground ball to second, maybe a double play. Dirk steps on the bag and does it herself. Tessa Jewett takes care of business. 6-3 double play to close the books on the 5th. Here tonight, and faces Taylor Waitley for the first time. Weak contact to second. Dodge is there, 1 down.
Dodge plays that ball really good, charges through it. But you saw the same play last inning where she had a little bit of a bobble. On this one, same thing. Erin Newer gets a pitch to go off the end of the batter's bat. And this time she stays a little bit more calm and composed, able to get the grip of the ball to make the out at 1.
Bags empty and 1 down. Newer working on a career-high 9 strikeouts here tonight. Tate Stuman, the junior, for the first time, fouls away the first pitch. One of 3 team captains on the roster. The junior infielder came on defensively a couple innings ago, now getting her first crack at the plate.
You've seen a couple changes in this lineup, and that's because Coach Jim Cliff earlier this season said that it's hard to have 11 people or more that he's trying to fit into those 9 spaces. So you see some changes throughout the game to get bats in this lineup.
Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. It's a Western Carolina team that has more depth than in any recent years. Last year, only 14, 15 players on the roster. This year, playing with closer to 20. And a team that's already matched its win total from a year ago. 18 W's in the season. And now double-digit punch-outs for Aaron Newer. Strike 3 on Stuman. And Newer quickly picks up her 10th K.
Aaron Newer goes to an off-speed pitch twice in this at-bat for the swing and miss. But each at-bat she's getting better, and because she's so versatile with the pitches that she can throw, she's able to get different batters out on different things as the game progresses. You might see a rise ball or only hard pitches earlier in the game, and then when it's your second, your third at-bat, you now see an off-speed. So you're trying to make adjustments to what you saw earlier in the game, and then she adjusts right back at you and throws something that you haven't seen.
And Lily Bell takes a pitch for the first time tonight. The sensational sophomore for Western Carolina. 0 for 2, grounded out on the first 2 pitches that she saw in this ballgame. The SoCon's leader in batting average, 464 coming into the game. And on 4 pitches has grounded out 3 times. Aaron Newer has faced 1 more than the minimum. A career high 6 innings in the circle, 10 strikeouts, and no hits allowed. 3-0 Tennessee settled down as the game has continued. Back to work in the 6th. And fires strike 1 to Laura Mueller in the 6th spot.
You said it best. Tessa Jewett has settled in. You can even see it with her defense and the energy that was created last inning. She's gotten better every single inning, but that's starting with her working ahead of every single batter. Early in the game, she gave up a few walks, hit by pitches. And that's because she wasn't going right at batters. Now you can see she's had a couple 1, 2, 3 innings going right at these Lady Vols. And when you're hitting spots and working ahead, you can get anyone out, even if it's a top-ranked team like the Lady Vols.
No balls and 2 strikes here on Mueller. 0 for 2 tonight. Jewett's 100th pitch of the night is just up and away, 1-2. Second all-time in career strikeouts. Looking for number 410. And finds it, her 4th of the night.
And that's what happens when you inch and you inch throughout someone's at-bat. Here against Laura Mueller, she works that curveball on the outside the entire time, uses that curveball on the outside to set up that rise ball that just sneaks up, so Laura Mueller swings right underneath it. But that doesn't happen if she doesn't start ahead and get ahead earlier in that count to entice batters to swing later.
Ella Dodge takes strike 1. Dodge 0 for 2 tonight. Has struck out and flied out. The Lady Vols have had a base runner every inning. Weak contact to Dirks. 2 quick outs in the 6th.
And she's becoming more efficient as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Right there, early out, got Ella Dodge to swing at something right up on her hands, making for an easy pop-up to Dirks there at shortstop. She just needs to settle in earlier in the game, and she has her team in this ball game.
Emma Clark watches strike 1. 0 for 1 with a walk and 1 of the 3 runs scored. Tessa Jewett starting to cruise here in the 6th. Standout senior. 0-2. Pretty pitch.
And adding on to settling in, as she settled in, that off speed, that changeup that falls off the table has becoming to work for her later in these counts.
High fly, left center field, on the way back and gone. Emma Clark goes yard, the 2nd of her Tennessee career, and it's 4-0 Lady Vols.
And we said it earlier, Emma Clark has the power to drive that long ball. She hasn't played that much this season, but she's taking advantage of her opportunities. Here, an 0-2 count, she's not going to let anything go by, and elite hitters make pitchers pay when they bring the ball over the plate. Just a missed pitch right there by Jewett, but Emma Clark sees the ball up and just drives through it. She stays through extension, which allows the ball to stay in the gap and be able to drive the ball as far as possible. Just making the most out of your opportunities during a midweek. There's nothing more a coach like Coach Karen Weekly can ask for from a freshman.
So Clark earns the celebration in the dugout. Perhaps a two-out spark Tennessee needs here in the sixth. Lady Vol offense has been relatively quiet here tonight.
Now, pitch hitting for the Big Orange, number 34.
But the motto with many pitching staffs, the solo shots won't kill you. Can't give them up with runners on base. Jewett right back to work here in the circle and faces Destiny Rodriguez in the pinch hit off the bench.
And even playing behind pitchers a solo shot, everyone kind of shrugs their shoulders. It doesn't mean much when people aren't on base. It's the runners on base that tags on those extra runs that makes the feat of scoring a lot more runs seem harder for your lineup. But you can shrug your shoulders off, go out this next batter, pinch hitter Destiny Rodriguez here.
Rodriguez, the junior, hitting .371. Has made 13 starts this year, now the 23rd game in which she's appearing. 3 doubles and 16 driven in for Rodriguez. Ahead 2 balls and a strike. Even at 2-2.
Destiny Rodriguez has been a part of that mix in that middle infield that Coach Karen Weekly said early this season. She doesn't know if the lineup will ever be set. So Rodriguez has just been in that mix, and when she gets her pinch opportunities to hit, she makes the most out of them.
Down on strikes there. That's the 5th punch out tonight for Jewett, who just gives up the 1 solo homer. Emma Clark adds to the Tennessee lead.
Center fielder number 23, Courtney Marks.
To the 7th in Knoxville. An incredibly efficient night continues for Aaron Newer in the circle. The Tennessee freshman has not allowed a hit through 6. Only 1 base runner tonight for the Catamounts. Courtney Marks, for the 2nd time, takes a strike.
And you see it, they are just getting ahead of every single batter that's come up to the plate. That is what has allowed Aaron Newer to be so effective and use her stuff.
One ball and 1 strike on Marks. Came into the game defensively and then struck out her first time facing Newer. And 1 and 2. Newer working on a career high 10 strikeouts tonight. Will set a new career high in innings pitched with the first out recorded in the 7th. Her 1-2 is in the dirt.
I love that after every pitch, every person in the Tennessee infield comes up to Newer. They're all making eye contact and feeding confidence right back into her.
Strike 3 swinging. Aaron Newer's dominance continues.
And looking at this pitch, she works in every quadrant throughout this game, and especially in this at-bat, keeping the ball down against a slapper. When they can put the ball in play and make a lot happen, keeping the ball down so that she's not able to work with it, that's a great job, and that's a veteran move by Aaron Newer, who's only a freshman.
The freshman out of East Aurora, New York, came in as a highly touted prospect, a PGF national champion in the travel ball ranks, and making an immediate impact here in Knoxville. Jim Cliff wants forward with Riley Butler, whose 17-game on-base streak rides on this plate appearance. 0 for 2 tonight is grounded out and popped out foul territory behind the plate. What do you think this chat's about?
I would say as a slapper, just slowing her feet down. and just being calm, taking a breath. Sometimes the game can be moving too fast, or it feels like it's moving too fast, especially when you're facing Erin Newer, where she's getting out after out. It is moving fast, so just taking a deep breath. You want to start a rally where your batters can pass the bat. So if I'm coach right there, call a timeout, maybe take the momentum off of Erin Newer's side and bring it right back to my batter so that she can go in fully confident and just calm in the box as a slapper.
1-2. Butler's hat comes up empty. And the 1-2 is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can see smiles all around. From Erin Newer to catcher Emma Clark, they all wanted that pitch. But because she's able to inch it more and more in the inside corner, it's just toying with the batter's eyes.
Butler catches a piece and stays alive. Another 2-2. And the count runs full.
Riley Butler being able to come back in this at-bat, I think, is a great job by Coach Jim Cliff to call that timeout and help her settle in and see more pitches.
She'll see one more. This is the part of the Western Carolina order that has picked up some power and patience in the offseason. Butler batting in the 3 spot, followed by McPherson, and then Dirks should the game extend. Looking for their first hit of the night. Another 3-2 from Newer.
Both Newer and Butler doing a great job. Butler fouling off any pitches that are close, and Erin Newer not making the moment too big and going for a strikeout, but inching the ball on each side of the plate to get a foul ball.
9th pitch of the battle is strike 3. A dozen tonight for Erin Newer.
Erin Newer is spinning the ball so well tonight, and that's because she's getting ahead and she's giving herself the confidence to do so. She went up multiple times in this at-bat against Butler, just getting underneath that rise ball and allowing it to go right at the chest so that entices the batter's eyes to swing right underneath it.
Maya McPherson digs in, trying to extend the game for Western Carolina. Went around on the appeal, no balls and a strike. Erin Newer, the true freshman for Tennessee, threw a no-hitter versus Bethune-Cookman in her first career start. That was in 5 innings. On the brink of another, she joined Monica Abbott as the only Lady Vol to accomplish that feat in her first outing. And now a strike away from another slice of Tennessee history. Crowd clapping in Knoxville. Erin Newer looking for the no-no. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt and off the leg of McPherson.
You can see a smile from her right there, but sometimes as a freshman, you know what this at-bat entails. You kind of let the moment get a little too big. It slips right out of her hand, just gets the bottom of her foot. But still, as a freshman, not giving a batter anything to hit when you're up 0-2, still impressive. Just slipped a little bit out of her hand. You can see a smile right there. She'll shake it off. Infield comes together. She just needs to go right at this next batter, not let up. She hasn't let up this entire game.
It's Sydney Dirks who takes strike 1. Newer back to pounding the zone. Career high 12 strikeouts tonight for the freshman, who spins in another and is quickly ahead 0-2.
Exactly what we were talking about. Hit the batter before, but coming right back at this next one with 2 strikes, working it to 0-2.
The 0-2 hammered through the left side. It's a base hit. Sydney Dirks keeps the Catamounts alive and spoils the no-hit bid with 2 outs in the 7th.
Sometimes when it's that close and you can taste it, you're thinking about the no-hitter and it might take your thought off the pitch. But this is a great 2-strike swing by Dirks here, getting a ball up over the plate, a missed pitch by Newer, and just drives it.
And on the very next pitch, the ball game ends. Wansik bounces out to Newer, who goes the distance. A one-hitter in the circle, a career-high 12 strikeouts for the freshman who picks up the win. And the Lady Vols take care of business. 4-0 the final at home.
Hey, Lady Vol fans, your Lady Volunteers will be back in action this Friday, April 4th.
Now, what a performance from Aaron Newer. Maybe not the no-hitter, but Riley still certainly something that builds a lot of confidence. A career-high 12 strikeouts, and she